I'm Ben Solak, and these are free agents you need to know. Today we're talking about Malik Willis. From the day he was drafted to now, Malik Willis can sling the rock, baby. Right? He can throw it. We are going verts here. Christian Watson in the seam, outside. These tight ends are going to gain width. Vertical in the back is going to be underneath. Now you will see here pre-snap that Kyle Hamilton initially looks like he's over the slot, and then he starts walking down. Here's Alohi Gilman over the three receiver side. He's going to start moving to the middle of the field. And so this looks pre-snap like Hamilton on the blitz. Gilman's going to move deep middle. And then when you snap it, they spin back into cover two, right? And you'll see Gilman gains width here, comes down to the bottom of the screen, and in tempo, in rhythm, man, Malik Willis. 3 steps, 1 hitch, ball out, to the seam between the safeties, and it's a score. Now, from the end zone view, I want you to see the processing, because if we really had Gilman working middle of the field and we had this vertical from the tight end and then this outside vertical, this is the side of the field we would want to work. And so Willis initially opens up, looking in the middle of the field, checks his work. You see that little tilt of the head. Oh, shoot, you're a half safety, aren't you? And because this is the 3 receiver side, Roquan Smith, the middle linebacker, has to run to that side, of the strong side. So he runs with the vertical from Josh Wiley, the tight end, which means there's nobody in that middle space, right, that seam runner, to go ahead and take Christian Watson. Now, it is Kyle Hamilton who's sinking underneath it. So you got to put that ball high and away now, right? This is Kyle we're talking about. So it's perfect placement. Christian Watson at extension, right? It's away from his frame, but it doesn't take him off the ground. It doesn't force him down to the ground, so he can go pick up yards after the catch, and it's a touchdown. Now, that little layered ball up the seam is nice, right? Good arm talent. But the more important thing is that ball was on time. The biggest difference between Titans Willis to Packers Willis is he's playing on time. Everything is out, dropping a hitch, dropping a hitch, dropping a hitch. And you can see the impact of the quick release and the ball velocity when he throws with this anticipation, with this timing, right? The ball's getting to receivers on these outbreaking routes before they've turned their head. That is pro quarterbacking from the pocket. Very important to see. Of course, Willis has always been known for his play outside of structure, right? Cool one here. We are going to get Jaden Reed off the motion on the vertical. Tight end Luke Musgrave is going to be in the seam. Christian Watson's here on the bender, and then Jacobs to the flat. We get this big circular motion in all of these routes, right? 4 routes to the strong side. Now, you would like to see Willis process this through, right? Right here as he lands on the top of his drop, you see that these backers are getting yanked by the 4 strong. And so we could, in theory, hitch and throw this into space. Now, safety here is low. We have to keep an eye on the safety as well. So on the hitch, okay, do we like the picture? I'm not sure that we like it. Maybe we come now to the second option, right? As this safety drives down, maybe it's the seam. When we get our eyes to the side of the field, maybe we see Jaden Reed on the wheel, right? Clearing this cornerback. There are progression options here that we could potentially get to, but Willis is always going to be a scrambler, right? And so as he feels some of the rush generated, he just goes and gets out of the pocket. So debatable here if we could have thrown this or not. But the main thing is we get outside the pocket, right? Strength breaking the tackle on Montez Sweat. Too big. Now looking for a throw outside of structure. Tremaine Edmonds tracking us down, and we just break his ankles. And they're able to turn upfield, go get the yard to gain. And so even if the processing speed isn't perfect and the decision making isn't super polished, he can turn negatives into positives because of the rushing ability. Willis is both a prolific scrambler and a valuable option in the designed running game. You saw the Packers use him a lot on zone reads in third down situations or in the red zone. Among quarterbacks with at least 100 dropbacks over the last 2 years, Willis's 6.2 yards per rush would be 4th. His 13% scramble rate and his 11.8 explosive rush rate would both be 1st. We have to do the 100 dropbacks thing because Willis has only started 3 games over the last 2 seasons and 6 over his 4 seasons in the league. The history of guys hitting free agency with like actual hype with this few games played is really, really thin. We have Brock Osweiler, who had 7 starts with the Broncos before the Texans gave him $72 million over 4 years. We have Kevin Cobb, who had 7 starts with the Eagles before he was traded to the Cardinals for a second-round pick, and then he got a contract, $63.5 million over 5 years. Both those deals didn't go too great for those teams. That's the thing about small sample quarterbacks, is that they're risky. Probably the best example of success we have is Jimmy Garoppolo. He was traded to the 49ers after just 2 starts with the Patriots, started in another 5 games, then they gave him a $137.5 million deal. It was the biggest deal at the time. Now, 1, we know a lot more about quarterback rehabilitation than we did back then. And 2, Willis was always a project player coming out of Liberty, and so it's reasonable to expect that his best ball could be ahead of him. My guess is going to be that he lands somewhere between the $33.3 million Baker Mayfield makes and the $20 million that Justin Fields makes on like a 3-year deal, incentive laden in the back. So that way, if he starts well in year 1, he can get more money in year 2 and 3. So who are the teams for Willis? Well, the Dolphins are the obvious pick. John Eric Sullivan, the new GM, and Jeff Hafley, the new head coach, both come from the Packers. But it's going to be a competitive year for Willis. Don't be surprised if guys like the Browns and the Jets get involved, because the 2026 quarterback draft class is a really thin one. And so the price tag on the only exciting free agent quarterback goes up accordingly.